Aloha everyone, what's going on my dudes? Welcome to another RuneScape news coverage video. For this video we're going to talk about the Ninja team and what they plan on doing going forward. So without any further ado, let's jump right into the video. Let's go.
Cats is the illest. What you talking about, Willis?
Alright guys, all this information is coming from the latest live stream today. Mod Huli brought on the Ninja team mods Kalea, Chaos E, and Mod K9 to come and celebrate the Ninjaversary. If you didn't know, on Monday was the launch of the Ninjaversary update, 1 year of ninjas. They have been around for longer than that, but this is the new revitalized team that have been doing the ninja strikes all throughout 2020 and continuing on with this year. Now actually, before we get into that, I do want to mention that next week we're getting a Valentine's Day themed quest, which is pretty interesting. I personally thought it was just going to be a Valentine's Day event, some kind of like a mini cosmetic event type thing, but we're getting a full-fledged quest. If you're somebody who's a lore player who loves quests, 2021 is already shaping up to be a great year for you. In the beginning of January, we had that little mini quest where you helped out the lumbered chef and made the anniversary cake. Then at the end of January, we had this start of the Once Upon a Time series where we had Relomia and her foreshadowing first prologue mini quest. Then we just had on Monday another mini quest with the Ninjaversary, which was really cool, really fun and awesome. And next week we're getting another full-fledged quest. So that's already 4 types of quest content within the first 2 months of 2021. So again, if you are a lore player, this is a great year for you, or at least a very great start. Now having said that, we're going to look at the Ninja team and what was discussed with this live stream. So the Ninja team, if you didn't know, had a dojo where you could submit a bunch of player submissions to have the team look at and potentially implement into the game. And that's where they have a lot of their list or their to-do list in order to push out more strikes. They have since closed that dojo and are working on what they say 3 years of backlogged submissions, which is a ton of work. They have said, however, that they plan on reopening the dojo in a couple of months' time, so keep your eye open. You might be asking, why would they reopen it if they have 3 years of backlogged information? It helps them reprioritize and reevaluate what is on their backlog, because if some of the submissions coming in when they reopen are a lot of things that are already on their backlog, they can take those and prioritize those and work on those as opposed to some of the smaller and less impactful updates. So that's why it's valuable, even though they have 3 years of content to work with, to reopen without having completed it all. And really, needless to say, but with a backlog that large, you can expect ninja strikes to be coming out for a long time going forward. Having said that, it's interesting that they pointed out in the live stream that quality of life, dojo submissions, the PAG suggestions, all that are not actually the only thing that Ninja works on. They also pick up old projects that have been done by other JMods and finish them up and push them out for the release. That is not always the easiest thing to do, they say. Sometimes the content is only half done. Sometimes it's pretty much fully done, but it's done on an older build and they need to look into it, check the code, and make sure it still works. Sometimes the way it was coded is not as efficient or could be done better with more modern technology and needs to be rewritten in that way. But the point is, Ninja does pick up a lot of projects and finish them, as well as doing things on the dojo list. Some of the things that are done in this way are the tier 92 repair system that we got last year, as well as the very recent changes to the broadcast system where it broadcasts out when you get a pet, also the XP you got it at if it's a skilling pet, or the kill count you got it at if it's a boss pet. And they have hinted at whatever they're working on right now is also one of those scenarios where they picked up a shelved project and are completing it. They have not gotten into detail exactly what that is. It could be small, it could be fairly large. We're gonna have to wait and see, but whatever it is, it was some old content that they are picking up themselves to push out, hopefully shortly. Moving on, I want to talk about the Lunar spells, which was one of my favorite ninja strikes of last year. They have said that they are not quite done with that. Mod Kalea has a list of changes and quality of life fixes, etc. that she has labeled as Lunar spells 2, so at some point we can expect a second Lunar spell strike. This does include things like removing some of the more useless ones, the spells themselves, and potentially adding new ones. They said when they originally tackled this before they launched the first strike, the team came up with 60 or more spells, not necessarily to add to the book, but just ideas, which they eventually whittled down to about 6 or 7, and then due to time constraints, eventually pushed out the 4 that we got with the first release. They say when it comes to new content, things like this, the Ninja team doesn't generally tackle those kinds of things because it would take away from them putting out more Ninja fixes, which is ultimately why Ninja team can work much faster than any other team because they're not working on new content. This is also why they didn't get all of those spells with the first Lunar Spell Ninja Strike. Creating those spells was taking longer than they originally anticipated, so it is likely when this second set of Ninja Strikes rolls out, whatever those last 2 or 3 spells were, will make it into the game, and then they'll remove some of the less used or more useless ones. Now, the last thing I want to touch on is that the Ninja team has voted on 12 Ninja Strike themes to address in 2021. They have allocated 4 weeks of dev time and QA for each strike, which allows them for some flexibility. Now, 1 month is not a lot of time at all, so that does mean that all of the updates that they do work on do have to be small in size, which does ultimately tie into why they tend to focus on things that aren't necessarily newer content and fixing old stuff. As it is still very early in the year, things may change and we may not have all 12 of these theme Ninja Strikes, or things might go extremely well and get every last one of them and maybe even more. Note that these are themed strikes. The Ninja team also does scattered strikes that don't actually have a centralized theme, and it's very likely that we're going to see those scattered in with these 12 as well throughout 2021. So yeah, that pretty much sums up everything that was talked about in the live stream. Once again, to reiterate, we can expect pretty much the same stuff we've seen so far in 2020 with the Ninja team going forward into 2021. And also, as I said earlier, they are working on a piece of content that was either shelved or put on hold for whatever reason, that was worked on by another team or another dev, and are working to finish it as we speak. In terms of a couple months down the road, we will see the release and the reopening of the Ninja Dojo, where players can submit their ideas for future Ninja updates. Let me know down in the comments below any opinions you have, anything discussed in this video. Also, what was your favorite Ninja Strike of 2020? Love to hear down below in the comment section. Personally, I do think that Lunar Spellbook and GE are really high up there for me, but if you have a difference of opinion, let me know. Anyways, that's going to wrap it up. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button. If you're not subscribed yet and you want to stay up to date on all things RuneScape related, then hit that subscribe button. Anyways, I appreciate you watching. I am out. Aloha.